Got it on? Nestor, you ready?
Oh, this up in the green tier.
Okay, it's 6 o'clock. We're going to call the meeting to order. Ms. Whitney Waring will give our Pledge of Allegiance for us today. Lead us in our pledge. You always stand.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag and the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Whitney, this is the official city pen. We'd like to thank you for coming. Just take the dots, too. You're not wearing it. Thank you for doing this for us.
Thank you.
All right. Alderman Miller, would you give our invocation for us?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, first, Lord, we're so thankful for the day that you allowed us to witness. Then, Heavenly Father, we ask for your blessing upon all the victims of the hurricanes and tornadoes. And then, Heavenly Father, we ask that you would bless what we do tonight, that first of all, whatever we do will be pleasing in thy sight. Continue, Lord, to bless this city, this county, this state, this United States, and this world. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion approved. Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the docket of claims?
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion carries. Motion to approve the minutes from the regular mayor and board meeting of September 20th.
So move.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Can I have a motion on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next is the personnel docket.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. I need a motion on the donations docket.
A motion to approve.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Okay. Moving on to item 10. If y'all remember, during the last administration, the board approved the Hernando sewer project. That project is going to is almost complete. If it's not complete, Joe Frank. And is it?
Yeah, like one more day.
Okay. And we're going to have a cap loan in place that will be paid back through a special assessment on the Hernando West property. So this is now the public hearing portion of the meeting. I want to announce to the public this is a public hearing for declaring that it is necessary for the public good to make a certain special capital improvement in the city of Hernando, Mississippi, describing the location, nature, and extent of the work of said improvement, and to provide for the payment of the cost of said improvements by assessment against the properties benefited in accordance with the provisions of section 21-41-1 through 21-41-53 of the Mississippi Code of 1972 as amended, and publish a public hearing 9/15, 9/22, and 9/29 to be held at the October 4th, 2022 board meeting, which is tonight. So this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak on this topic or against it? Okay, if not, the public hearing session portion of the meeting is ended, and we will move on to item 11, which is the approval of the resolution for absence of any protest against the making of a certain special improvement in the city of Hernando, and this is pertaining to the Hernando West Sewer Project. Can I have a motion to approve that resolution?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion passes. Next is the item 12, the approval of the AWG sewer infrastructure improvements final inspection report punch list with Argo Construction. Staff and Mike from from Pickering have been through and done the punch list, and this is just a formality that we have to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. That motion passes. And next is just a wide open discussion of street overlays for the 22-23 budget year. As y'all know, there's in the budget y'all approved, outside of the MPO project that spends a lot of money overlaying Mackinville Road to the north, we budgeted $1.9 million just for general overlays. We have a list of a lot of streets that have been requested by some of you to look at. Some of them staff came up with, but there is a list here of streets and probable estimated cost. Y'all want to just have a general discussion on these and which ones you think rise to the top and things of that nature.
I just have a question. How, I know it's hard to predict, but how firm are those numbers? Are they maybe a little higher than?
They'll be all over the place.
I'm looking at Lee and Joe Frank for the
That's
answer to
probably
that
an
question.
impossible question, but
But we need to know where they came up with the numbers and how.
You know, take the street, then come up with the square yards of the need, multiply it down to the prevailing rate of asphalt. We've gotten this year.
Do the experts that you've been talking to think that price is going to go up or down or stay the same, or?
I don't think it's gonna come down as long as there's big demand for it.
Okay.
Still a huge demand, people trying to take care of streets and subdivisions and all over the county. You just see the trucks out there on 51 constantly hauling asphalt plants. So until that slows down, it's not gonna be much change.
How much, maybe we bid some of these out now and get them done before they close the plants down, and then we'll bid some more out in the spring to finish up the list. How, on a percentage scale, how certain do y'all feel about these prices?
Pretty good about it. I think they were padded a little bit in order to, allow for inflation, rising prices.
Does that help you, Alderman Wicker?
yeah. You have, I think, Elm at Robinson. Which road are you talking about on that? Is that Elm Street or Robinson or?
It's right there at the intersection. It's basically, Joe Frank can tell you more, but it's gonna be resurfacing that area.
Going up the hill there?
Down, so all the stormwater doesn't go to that damaged storm drain, it goes down the hill, down towards 51.
There's about 6 or 7 layers of asphalt right there, and it's just changed the whole shape of the water flow and everything, that intersection.
6 or 7 gas miles too.
So you think outside of this list, the general street repairs, we're good on that number? Because we're going to have to probably cut out some sections, not total overlays, but just some of the patching that y'all have done just not working anymore. Does that fall into that category?
Yeah, we just put that number in there and just constantly having to repair streets for different reasons.
Yeah.
Like the streets that fail, replacing with utilities, go ahead and work on utilities.
Okay.
Is, if there's a street that may not need an overlay but could use striping, is that part of this, or is the striping budget separate?
On my end, it's separate. I think it was around $75,000 now allotted for striping this year.
Yeah.
For intersections that are faded, streets that we paved last year that weren't striped.
Yeah.
Just because we didn't have funds available.
Okay, well,
The
because,
striping is outrageous.
well, because I've had people contact me about Memphis Street from, and you drive this every day, I guess, from 51 to about Laurelwood, that, well, they'd like to see it overlaid, but if that can't fit this year, they say it's really dangerous at nighttime because the striping is very faded. So I'd like to see that somewhere on this budget, whether
That was budgeted for in my striping budget.
it was? Great, okay, good.
It's there. I'm gonna try to do, Commerce from Walmart to 51, that's a huge expense. And then Monteith and Old 51.
Okay, good. What about some of the, like, improvements that we talked about on Mackinville at the Commerce turn lanes or the possible Holly Springs roundabout?
We don't have any money in this budget for the roundabout, although I hope we can find some. But I mean, what'd you say, that's about $500,000, Joe Frank, to do the roundabout?
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking that we were going to do a lot of paving this year, and hopefully we'd be able to present that to y'all in the next budget year for the roundabout at Holly Springs,
Okay.
for y'all to consider. I'd like to have done it 5 years ago, but it's just not been in the budget.
Yeah, it's hard to.
It's something needed for certain.
Yeah, it's hard to, and I don't know, at one point, some of the businesses, I mean, I guess not, like when Toyota was coming in, they had talked about that, you know, but all of that is, and now there's a convenience store going on that corner.
I think, Joe Frank, you've made them put the entrances and everything where it would not interfere with the future roundabout, didn't you?
That's correct, because they're, part I have to do on that side of the roundabout, they're gonna do. Curb and gutter, they've got to put in a back veil.
And then when that other, on that corner where I was talking about, the grass had gotten too high and you can't really see, that Mark Anglin owns, that's, you know, nobody's gonna have an entrance exit there anyway, because we've always said, we need to have as little traffic coming on to McInville as possible because of that curve. That's, you know. But I know the entrances to the convenience store are on the far edge closest to the fire station and far edge closest to that diesel mechanic place of the lots, correct? So it's out of that curve, so. I mean, I don't think it's going to pose a big traffic issue. Hopefully, it's going to make it better that people will have a more firm and defined left to take if you're going west on Holly Springs. That's where the issue is. People are stopping in the middle of the lane and trying to go back left. Still, I mean, I see it all the time. Even though there's some little bit of white striping there, just some dotted lines, it's still not defined enough. So maybe we can define it maybe a little stronger, since we're not going to have that 500,000 to do the roundabout anytime soon.
Joe Frank, in regards to what the question was asked earlier about how much we could get done before the plants close down, and just looking at just raw numbers now. Say if we look at what we have on the sheet tonight, just say we all in agreement with what's on the sheet tonight. If we look at, say, 63,000 and below, is there any way possible we could get those done, that any project $63,000 and below, that we can get those done and completed before they shut down? And those one I like, you know, me personally like to look at and see if we can get them bidded out and try to get those done. And then come back the first of the year and do the others, you know, bid those out then. Just trying to use a dollar amount, you know, to just see what,
Yeah, one of the streets I'd like to add is Fairway Drive, not necessarily the whole street, but just, there's 4 or 5 sections on that street that's just terrible.
Could that be done under general street repairs and put it in there?
Which one you talking about?
Fairway Drive, not Fairway Oaks.
Not on here.
Fairway Drive isn't on the list.
Green Tea, is that where you
And just so everybody knows,
Got a lot of fairways, boy.
a lot of,
Yeah.
That's the only one on my list. Those others are on my list.
and just so you,
I just said what yours, I just said fairway.
It's a
I just
popular
want
name.
everybody on the board to know, and some of you know because you've heard or been there, but DeSoto County tried to help us on the Baden Road bid. They actually, in their meeting yesterday, voted to have their city attorney or county attorney look at it to see if they could add it on to their bid, because Lehman Roberts said they would do it for $313,000, and we had estimated about $550,000, I believe. But by the time Tony Nowak looked at it today, and he looked at it 1,000 different ways, he said it's just not legal for them to do that. So we're just going to have to bid it on our own. But the county was trying to help us, and there may be some way in the future, other places where counties do it, where we could bid with the county. So we might look into that for next year. We'll spend this year exploring it. And Stephen, if you could talk to Tony about that, maybe we could work towards that for next year, because if we do a bigger bid package with the county, we might could get a lot better price. So, but I do want to thank the county for trying to help us anyway. And they're wide open to helping us if they can find a legal way to do it.
So their bid was about $150,000 less?
185.
313, so it was over 200,000 less.
For the same
Now,
exact?
But this isn't a bid, this is just
an
a
estimate.
padded
Okay.
estimate we put in
They
there.
already had theirs done.
Okay. I was like, that's a big difference there.
And when we end up doing Baden, we probably need to do industrial at the same time because it's attached to it. You know, if they only have to mobilize once, your price comes down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is in bad shape.
So if I'm going to look at Joe and Lee and talk about this for a minute. If we were to go with what Alderman Miller said and do the 67,000, 63,000 and under ones, of course, some of those could be done with just quotes. However, if we packaged them all together, we might get a better price. Would y'all be able to figure out which ones we could get a better price on by just doing the two quotes and moving forward, or bid the whole thing together? How would y'all recommend doing that?
We can look at some of them and see if we can get them done.
Just when I was using a number like this,
Yeah.
so we can cut out on the timeline, see?
Yeah, we could just get two quotes on a lot of them and go knock out a
Then
code,
we-
a code,
while
a
the
code.
others run the process, see? Yeah, that's what I'm talking, you know.
Did something now, it's gonna take,
The bidding takes a while, doesn't it, to get it to,
it's gonna take 60 days to get something. Start bid and, advertise, bid and start.
Bonds, all that stuff.
Well, that's the reason I'm saying that it might could fall up on the tail end while we do these others, you know, it won't hurt nothing.
that's a good idea, so we could get as many paved as we
Yeah.
can before, because we've never paved in the fall before, this will be new. And I think it's a smart thing to do, we get some of them knocked out, and then we get the bigger ones in the spring.
If we do them one off, each, it's definitely go a lot faster.
Would y'all like to do that, something
You're
like that?
suggesting we quote each one and take two quotes, because we raised it to
Do a
75,000.
quote
Right.
and then do bid the other.
There are some smaller companies out there that do these smaller ones that are hungry for stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Let's make a motion then.
I've got a quick question around the fairway point streets.
Yes,
So they currently have homes that are being constructed.
they're almost finished, I think.
So
Yeah.
is there not something, there's nothing on the developer where they have to, because they're
They got
finishing
their
out a
second
phase
layer
of it or
asphalt
anything like
long
that?
ago.
So we
Yeah.
can see what it actually cost us.
Yeah,
But
that
they're-
one was finished out, and then they just came back and did those last three lots. just randomly.
That'd be the only thing I would say with those three is that
Yeah.
if they're still, if they have any more materials they need to bring in or whatever else, and we may not want to do that
Until they're done.
until they're done, right? I mean, I don't know how close,
1.9 million.
The other one is too. I think
are they all the way done?
We'll have Lee check on that before, that's a good point, though.
I just want to make sure that they don't have like a cement truck coming to pour something or something like that, and then we just wasted, 60 grand or something.
Do we need to make a motion approving the list with the added street?
I have one request before you make that motion. Can we add a column, Joe Frank, Lee, and just call it actual cost, so that as we go through this list, we can see how much we actually spent on each street versus what you estimated it would cost us?
And then
That way
we'll-
through the year, we can see how close we're
And
getting
we'll
to that one.
update that every time we add a street and put it in front of y'all at a board meeting. That's a good idea.
Bill.
I'll handle that in my office.
Yeah, you can just add it to this list, and,
We've already got a spreadsheet made, so.
yeah, thank you.
Let me mention about the railroad. Railroad people promised me they would come and do their part of that crossing this month, so. That's what they promised me.
So Bob Jarman needs you to call him. He said they're working down at Love Road, and then they're moving to Baden Road. And he said he's willing to let his traffic control crew who are trained help us if you can get them to make the next stop Commerce.
Okay.
He said to call him because he's working with them on Love Road and then the Baden Road crossing, and he didn't know we were trying to get ours done too, so he said he thinks he can help you. He just told me that this afternoon.
And this,
Make a motion with the streets that been included to be added, that we approve this list and proceed with, bidding / quotes on every item that's 63,000 and below.
second?
There's a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Thank y'all for giving us something to get started with. Next is the approval of the FY22 Budget Amendment Resolution, and we'll need to publish it one time.
So what we were given this evening differs from what was in our packet. So math errors? Okay.
You said Melinda came in and helped you tweak that and get it right.
These are budget amendments from the prior budget, is that correct?
And I think, there'll be one more. We can do them until the end of October. Okay. There's no more discussion. Is there a motion on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next, we got the official skate park grant award in the mail, and the board, and even though it had been authorized by the board to apply, we now need the board to authorize to accept the Renaissance Skate Park Phase 2 grant in the amount of $120,000. That is in the budget y'all approved. It was a $120,000 revenue item with a $150,400 expense item. So we have a $30,000 match plus a $400 sign.
Motion to authorize?
Second.
So motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. And next, Pam went in the attic and found the old skate park file. So we have the way we bid it in hand. Jared is going to run that past Wildlife and Fisheries, make sure they want us to bid it the same way we did before, which is basically a request for proposals, because there are only so many groups in the United States that know how to build a skate park. You just don't bid it to everybody. You pick a professional of your choosing that knows how to build skate parks. So once he gets that through, we'll have a quick meeting with Joe Frank, and then if y'all will approve this tonight, we'll go to bids for the skate park. So we will need approval from y'all to go to bids for the skate park.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next is the approval of the resolution for donations.
And this is the full list, right? Of everybody
Pam, I'm
that
going
came
to let
before
you
us?
talk about that one.
Yeah, the one that's got the box around it.
That was added to your desk.
Yes, yes. Those we're ready to approve. The other ones we will be ready to approve at the next meeting. We have to be sure that they have matching funds on this particular donations.
Stephen has spent a load of time this week researching all of the different statutes that allow us to give, because there are certain ways we can give, certain things we can give to, and he was making sure we're legal in the way we give, so that's where we are at the moment.
You may be able to speak
Yeah, it's millage.
to that.
Yeah, just updated last year. Ones on top are ready to approve. The ones on the bottom are matching. We trying to verify that they're all matching funds.
So if they don't have matching funds, is that what you're saying? We
If you don't
cannot?
have matching funds, you're not going to be able to make donations.
Unless they reduce their request to match the funds they have.
Exactly.
That they could, whatever request they do, it got to be matched.
They have to match.
So what requires someone to have to match? Like, what's the difference between the top box and the bottom?
I think the bottom was just having,
It's a lot more complicated than I have time to tell you.
Okay, all right.
Well, the library's millage, right?
Copy of the statute.
yeah, we do set millage for the library.
Library's millage.
Yeah,
The library's millage, so that's,
that's all fine. There's different statutes that allow for specifically for museums, specifically for bands
Okay.
and schools, and specifically for all specific statutes. And the City of Economic Council, the library, those are all, they all have their own provisions in the code. And the ones that are below, they specify that you need matching funds. You can't just get out money
Okay.
from those type of nonprofits.
They've been notified about they need a matching fund?
I've been contacted.
I don't see the Precious and Pink group that came and spoke with us. I don't see them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that too. I
Yeah,
remember them
they
coming.
had asked for a donation, and then they sent another letter that said just a donation. They didn't put a dollar amount with it. And we kind of just ran out of money, and we weren't as familiar with that group. If y'all wanted to
I would
amend the
like,
budget, or,
I would like to add them. I'm pretty familiar with them, and, I mean, they're a 501c3, and,
Yeah, I agree.
So who do you want to take money from?
well, so I was looking at the budget. It looks like the total in the 108-402-651 is 30,000. What, and we have 19.5 allocated. What do we normally do with that difference between the 30 and the 19.5?
where'd you come up with 30,000?
I thought that was on the budget.
We've got 19,500 in the tourism budget for donations, and then we had 6,000 in the budget for the 040, 649. So these, the 6,500, 3,000, 5,000, and the 2,500s, I think that equals our 19,500.
Okay, I looked at this line item. I didn't bring it with me. I thought it said that the total was 30, so I thought maybe we just left some as a buffer, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I don't have the current budget with me.
I didn't bring it with me.
We'll look at that when we bring it back to you next week. And how much money would y'all like to give to Precious and Pink? Y'all have any idea?
I don't know if they're going to be able to be matching or not, but I'd like to give them something.
That's $14,000 that's on the one that's to be determined is $14,000. So depending on what they want, you could reduce each one of those a little bit.
I think they, when she asked for $5,000, I think, obviously, I don't think we're going to be able to do that much, but.
So that's what I'm saying, you could reduce, there's $14,000 in there. And we could, you could knock $1,000 off from each one, well, so you knock $1,000 off of one and $500 off another one, so that gives you
Maybe get to
$2,000,
three. Do you see
If I can make it to 25, you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Just about pulling some numbers off the others.
right.
We need to make sure they're going to be able to have matching funds.
Yeah.
We can approve it, but.
Right, I'm agreeing.
Yeah, because
Yeah, we'll wait till next meeting on Precious and Pink. We're just trying to get an idea.
I think these other ones will. That's kind of my impression.
But my point is though, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
respectfully, I think we need to know who we're gonna pull out, because even though they might be able to match, we might not approve what's on here tonight if we want to do the other.
I got you.
Yeah,
Correct?
right. Based on what the others ask, 2,000?
That's what I'm saying. We could-
500 from
We
each,
could either
or-
pull 25 or 2,000 in there.
Okay.
I'd like to,
And we'll go back and look at the budget and come back on Precious and Pink with y'all next week.
I would just, and yeah, I'll just say if we pull $1,000 off here. Pull 1,000 there. And then $250 from the others, so let's give them $2,500.
That may go to.
Will you say that again, which one you're saying?
House of Grace.
So we're on this sheet, the one that's got the big box and then the four
On
underneath.
what I propose to be presented to us on next week is that the House of Grace receive $5,000 if they match. Meal on Wheel, $2,000 if they match. Healing Hearts, $2,250. And the Ark, $2,250. And the remaining for
Gives 3,000.
Pink, what you call it now?
Precious and Pink.
Precious and Pink, the PPs.
Precious and Pink Jail Ministry.
And that should give
How much are you talking about?
That's about.
That's $2,500.
That'd be 2,500,
Okay,
yeah.
I do hate to pull that much off of Meals on Wheels compared
I'm on the
to,
board too, so I'm on
Oh,
it
okay.
too, so I mean,
so maybe just 500, maybe just 500 from Meals on Wheels and not
And so
a
you
whole
saying
1,000.
2,000 then?
Yeah,
Make it 2,500.
yeah.
2,500.
Wheels. So it'd be 2,500.
All right.
See, I ain't biased, is it?
I'm just saying, it's a
Okay.
bigger percentage than the House of Grace,
Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Okay. We'll come back with those. If we can find matching funds from them, we'll get them to verify matching funds and bring those back in another resolution next board meeting.
Other than 2,500, 250?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Does that make sense? I mean,
Still need a motion to approve this resolution.
We gotta wait.
Really hot in here.
We gotta approve the first ones. For the museum, the band, library.
Make a motion that we approve, FY 23 request for donation resolution that's listed on the 10/4/22.
Second.
We need to make sure we also change it to City of Hernando at the top.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell we're borrowing stuff?
Yep.
Well, I tell you what,
I used my tools.
Was there a motion and a second?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Next is the utility adjustment.
motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. That motion passes. Okay, I need a motion for determination to go into executive session regarding police personnel.
Motion.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Okay, we will now have the determination. All right, at this time, anyone not affiliated with the police executive